In May of 2021, a mysterious artist began posting short animations on a YouTube channel called I Can't Sleep. These disturbing works of art quickly gained the attention of many as this nameless creator continued to pump out macabre content. At first glance, a lot of their work seemed to just be edgy or shock value videos, but as these videos continued to get darker, people began to speculate that there's something more behind this. Maybe there's something the artist is trying to tell us. I've gone through all of their videos to decipher what this meaning is. What I saw was a dark yet beautiful story that conveys the dreadful battle that this artist and many others are fighting. So sit back and come with me as we join I Can't Sleep on their journey. But first, a quick announcement. So in my Kelly Ronahan video, we were sponsored by HelloFresh, who helped me prepare against my possible fight against Nexpo. And as you can see from my recent Twitter post, the gains are coming in slowly but surely. Well, HelloFresh was kind enough to sponsor us again. Fall is right around the corner, and HelloFresh is here to help you save time and plan for the busy season ahead with tasty food delivered to your door. Just choose your recipes and delivery date, then sit back and enjoy the last days of summer knowing your meals are covered. Even if you're super busy, HelloFresh is still the best option for a wholesome homemade meal. All you need is just 15 minutes. If you look for their quick and easy dinner options, plus quick breakfasts and lunches, there's plenty of delicious meals to make in your own kitchen in no time. Check them out by going to HelloFresh.com and using the code 50ScareTheater at checkout for 50% off plus free shipping. When I got my second HelloFresh box, I wasn't disappointed with the new meal options I had. This time I went for the pasta primavera. All the instructions and ingredients were included right there in the box. All I had to do was boil the pasta, roast some vegetables, and create the sauce, which didn't take long at all. After like 10 minutes, I coated the pasta in the sauce, added in those roasted veggies, and that was literally it. Not only was it extremely easy to make, but this pasta was better than anything I'd ever had from an Italian restaurant before. So when life gets busy, don't call for delivery. Get HelloFresh. It's 25% cheaper than takeout and less expensive than grocery shopping. Just choose your recipes and receive fresh, pre-portioned ingredients so you can get cooking quick. Support the channel and get started with easy, delicious meals by going to HelloFresh.com and using the code 50ScareTheater at checkout for 50% off plus free shipping. Now, back to the video. I know that whenever a channel like this comes along, people love to overanalyze things, and sometimes it turns out that there's really nothing there. I'm sure some people will look at I Can't Sleep and think there's nothing more to this than just dark art. But I genuinely believe there is a meaning here. I'll say now that not every single one of these videos has some sort of deeper meaning other than what's on the surface. For example, a few of these videos are just creepypasta animations, which are clearly just fun little projects sprinkled in between the other videos. We won't talk about those. But most of the others represent something very relatable to the artists, and probably many others as well. In some of I Can't Sleep's earlier videos, there are actually some dramatized concepts that I think are relatable to a bunch of people. For instance, their first video, The Monster Under My Bed. This one depicts the main character laying in bed, then suddenly being killed by something, followed by a quick shot of something crawling out from underneath the bed. This demonstrates a stereotypical fear that many children had growing up of a monster under their bed. Their video that's titled Migraine is surely relatable to anyone that struggles with migraines. In fact, many of the comments in this video are talking specifically about how relatable it is. And the video they made immediately after this, called Surprise, is a graphic depiction of the main character hitting puberty and getting her period. Which, by the way, I can't even imagine the dread women must experience when they first find out they'll have to bleed and cramp every month for the rest of their lives. Sucks to be you guys, can't relate. But on a serious note, these videos are all things that many people can relate to, depicted in a very dramatized way to express the emotion more heavily behind the experience. Because of these few videos that relate to a wider portion of the population, I believe most of I Can't Sleep's other videos are also dramatized versions of experiences that the artist personally relates to. Let's take a closer look. The beginning of I Can't Sleep's videos appeared to be at the beginning of the artist's life, showing events from their childhood. We already briefly looked at their first video, The Monster Under My Bed, but I think their second video, Underwater, is truly the beginning of this story. The video starts with the main character sitting on a dock in front of a lake with their feet in the water. This character is not officially given a name by the artist, but there is an unofficial name given to her. Another YouTuber named Saber actually made a really interesting video about this channel that you should definitely check out when you're finished watching this one. In his video, he mentioned that some people discussing this on 4chan started calling this character Nia, so that is what we will do too. So, in this video, Nia is sitting in front of the lake, and she looks up to see a hooded figure standing across the lake. This is a recurring character in this artist's videos that plays an important role that we will discuss later. For the sake of simplicity, I will just refer to this character as Hood. Hood walks into the lake and approaches Nia, gradually disappearing into the water. Nia recoils in fear. This video serves as our introduction to Hood, and as we will see later, Nia's uncomfortable reaction to him is for a good reason. Whenever Hood is around, he always brings a feeling of discomfort with him, and he seems to always be in Nia's presence. In the video Childhood, we see Nia standing alone in a room, looking anxious. Whenever she blinks, we see this creature appear in front of her for a split second. I think this character is actually what Hood looks like underneath the cloak. No matter how hard Nia tries, she cannot escape him. In a later video, titled Surprise, Hood gives Nia the gift of puberty, after which she immediately has her first period. The other videos on this channel depicting Nia's childhood continue to show themes of depression, including the video Mourning. In this one, Nia is in front of a bathroom mirror, looking exhausted and gloomy. The video ends with the door cracking open, revealing a bear-looking creature standing outside the door. This probably represents the feeling depressed people often have in the morning, as they are filled with the dread of going about another monotonous day. And of course, the existence of Hood does not make this any easier for her. As I mentioned before, Hood is a character that we see a lot of throughout these videos. First appearing in Nia's childhood, he sticks with her until the end. The reason that Hood is always with Nia is because he actually is her. I think that Hood is a personification of Nia's mental struggles and trauma. Nia's resistance toward him is really just a resistance of the darkest parts within herself. Every setting that Hood is in is filled with sorrow. In one of I Can't Sleep's earliest videos called Leave Me Alone, we see Nia contemplating taking her life while seeing Hood's eyes watching her through the window. The more we see of Hood, the more we see Nia's trauma. In a video titled Bathroom, we see Nia walking to the restroom and opening one of the stalls. While she is in there, we see an overview shot of the left stall showing a mangled corpse, and in the right stall, we see Hood, who peers over the stall and watches Nia. This is one of the first videos that alludes to Nia experiencing SA at some point in her life. This theme is expressed a lot less subtly in a few of the later videos on this channel, and I'm not going to go too in depth on that topic in particular to avoid triggering anyone's trauma, but I feel like it is important to note that this is a recurring theme in some of these videos. Even though Nia tries to avoid Hood like the plague, as these videos progress, his presence only becomes more overbearing. Another recurring theme we see in these videos seems to hint at medication and even hospitalization. In one of I Can't Sleep's earlier videos, called Angel, we see Nia depicted as an angel surrounded by butterflies before suddenly being injected with some kind of green substance by a doctor. A few videos later, we see a similar setting, but this time Nia wakes up strapped to a bed, hooked up to some kind of machine. This theme continues in another video called I Woke Up in a Strange Place, where Nia wakes up in the same bed, but this time without the machine. In a few of these videos, we see a shot of the outside of this particular building that I think might be some sort of mental asylum. One of the deepest views we get to the inside of this building takes place in the video titled Run. In this video, we see Nia walking down a hallway and then stopping in front of some Japanese text written on a wall. This translates to run away. Nia ignores this and continues down the hallway. She stops again, and then the scene cuts to a violent image of someone being injected by something before cutting to black. The final shot shows the outside of the asylum. Also note that in the beginning of the shot of the asylum, we see two faces behind the bars of these windows, and in the ending shot of the asylum, we see a third one. I can only imagine that this all represents the artist's negative experiences with mental health treatment. None of what Nia experiences seems to be helpful, and her mental health issues only spiral further. We also see Hood's hold on her becoming stronger, and this is when we are introduced to the darkest parts of Nia's mind, the Hellscape. The Hellscape is introduced in the video called They're Coming. In this video, we see red stained glass equipped with eyes and a crucifix. Then we see the silhouette of what first appears to be Nia walking past the glass. In the next shot, we see 3 people, one of which being Nia, stuck inside the rooms being tortured. The silhouette, who is revealed to be Hood, walks past them and into another room where we see the words, "Welcome to Hell." The final shot shows Hood descending down an elevator surrounded by 5 flailing figures. The Hellscape represents the darkest parts of Nia's mind, where Hood is the ruler. As Nia slowly loses control of herself, Hood takes more control. He repeatedly brings her back here, subjecting Nia to more torment each time. In a video titled "The Subway," Nia is sitting on a train, and we see Hood approach her and stare. The train arrives at its destination, and Nia gets off to find herself in the Hellscape. Then this happens. Her next visit to the Hellscape, in the video "He's Here," shows Nia standing outside staring at dead trees before the view suddenly cuts to Hood standing in an elevator descending into the Hellscape. The view cuts again to Nia standing on a balcony with more Japanese words translating to sorrow. Shortly afterward, it cuts back to the Hellscape with Hood standing in front of crucifixes. Nia's body is seen impaled by one of them. This environment is so traumatizing for Nia that she tries anything she can do to stay out of it. In one of her videos, titled "I Can't Sleep," we see Nia sitting in a room with coffee in the background, trying not to fall asleep. She eventually succumbs to her drowsiness and finds herself back in the Hellscape. Hood begins to approach her, and she wakes up, terrified. She falls asleep again, and the nightmare continues. Waking up once more, she drinks more coffee in a desperate attempt to stay awake, but to no avail. She falls asleep again, and Hood finally reaches her. The final scene cuts to Nia in her chair looking like this. This is one of the few videos that I Can't Sleep actually comments on. They wrote, "When my eyelids close my pupils, I see terrible things." What's interesting about Hood is that he doesn't seem to be evil in every appearance that he's in. In the video, "For Me," Hood hands Nia a rose, which slowly starts draining the red color from itself and filling up Nia. I Can't Sleep also left a comment on this video, a heart emoji. This video has a continuation on YouTube Shorts called "For You," where Nia is draining the color from herself into a bucket. Judging from where the color is flowing from, this might indicate the dark subject of Nia making peace with Hood by coming to terms with the idea of ending her life. Now, I'm sure this goes without saying, but if anyone is struggling with thoughts like these, you don't need to resort to doing that. There are resources available for you. This was my interpretation of the series. I think that Nia is a depressed character who, as a result of her trauma, is fighting a never-ending battle of mental illness. And it would appear that the artist themselves does relate to these themes and is creating these videos as a way to express that emotion. Art can actually be a very therapeutic way for victims of trauma to express their emotions in a healthy way. Now, to be fair, there's no real way to know if I Can't Sleep is actually struggling mentally or not. I tried to reach out to them to speak to them about their videos, but I never got a response. It's best to not bother them and constantly ask if they're okay because, let's be real, that's just not gonna help. If this artist really is going through a tough time right now, the best thing you can do to help them is support their work by watching their videos and checking out their Patreon page if you want. And to I Can't Sleep, if you're watching this, I hope that you're doing okay. You're one of my favorite artists right now, and I love the work that you're doing. If you are struggling right now, just know that we all support you and look forward to whatever you're going to do next. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the flip side.